I have to be honest with you about something. Something that took me a long time to admit. For years, I thought something was wrong with me. That my brain was broken. That I was the only one lying awake at 3 in the morning, while the whole world slept peacefully, drowning in thoughts I never asked for. Stay with me until the end of this, because what I figured out about my own mind changed everything, and I mean everything. The way I sleep, the way I feel, the way I understand myself. Subscribe right now and hit that bell. Every single week I come back here with a new confession, made for this exact hour, made for you. It was 3 in the morning. Again, I was staring at the ceiling, like I had done so many nights before, and my mind was running. Not walking, not jogging, running, full speed, in every direction at once, replaying conversations from 3 years ago, planning things that might never happen, worrying about problems that didn't even exist yet, feeling guilty about things I couldn't change, grieving things I never let myself grieve during the day. I remember thinking, why is this happening to me? Why can I not just turn this off? Why does my brain wait until 3 in the morning to decide it has things to process? I used to fight it so hard, I would force my eyes shut, count my breaths, scroll through my phone to distract myself, do anything to make it stop. But it never stopped, and one night, exhausted and completely out of fight, I stopped fighting back. And that's when everything changed. I just lay there, and for the first time, instead of trying to silence my mind, I actually listened to it. Really listened. Not with frustration, not with fear, but with the kind of quiet attention you give to someone who has been trying to tell you something important for a very long time. And what I heard shook me, because my mind at 3 in the morning wasn't attacking me, it was talking to me. There's something that happens in those early hours of the night that science actually confirms. When the stress hormones drop to their lowest point of the day, when the brain shifts into slower wave patterns, the filters come down, the performance stops, the social mask dissolves, and the mind stops processing what you want to think about and starts processing what it actually needs to think about. In other words, during the day you control your thoughts. At 3 in the morning, your thoughts finally get to be honest with you. And honest thoughts, after a lifetime of being pushed aside, they come loud. So I started paying attention to what was actually showing up. Not the surface noise, not the random replay of embarrassing memories, the deeper pattern underneath all of it. And I want to tell you what I found, because I think you might recognize it. The first thing I noticed was repetition. The same thoughts kept coming back, night after night, week after week. The same unresolved conversations, the same unfinished decisions, the same fears wearing different disguises. And I realized, the mind doesn't repeat what it's already finished with. It only repeats what's been left open. Like a tab on a computer that never got closed, running in the background, draining energy, waiting. Every repeated thought at 3 in the morning is an open tab, something unresolved, something unspoken, something you keep promising yourself you'll deal with. And then the day comes and you get busy and you don't. And your mind, patient and relentless, brings it back every single night, until you close the tab. The second thing I noticed was intensity. The thoughts that hit hardest at 3 in the morning, the ones that make your chest tight, the ones that make it hard to breathe, those are never random. Your mind doesn't waste emotional energy on things that don't matter to you. If something makes your heart race at 3 in the morning, if something makes your throat close, your eyes burn, your whole body tense, that something is not background noise. That something is center stage in your life, whether it's a person, a decision you've been avoiding, a version of yourself you left behind, a truth you're not ready to say out loud yet. The intensity is the signal. The bigger the feeling, the more important the message. I used to wish the intensity would stop. Now I follow it. Because the most important discoveries I've ever made about my own life came from following the thoughts that scared me most at 3 in the morning. The third thing I noticed was the dream underneath the fear. This one took me the longest to see, because it was hiding. A lot of what keeps us awake at 3 in the morning isn't actually fear. It's a dream so big, so personal, so important to us, that we're terrified to admit how much we want it. Because wanting something that much means risking losing it, means being vulnerable, means saying out loud, "This matters to me, this is real, this is mine." And that's terrifying, so the dream disguises itself as anxiety, as overthinking, as worst-case scenarios and endless what-ifs. But underneath all of that noise, if you get quiet enough, if you stay still long enough, you can hear it. The thing you actually want, the life you actually want, the person you actually want to become. It's been there every night, waiting for you to be brave enough to listen. The night I finally heard it, I cried, not from sadness, from recognition, because it felt like meeting a part of myself I had been running from for years. A part that was never angry at me for running. That had just been quietly waiting. Patient. Faithful. Certain that eventually I would stop long enough to hear it. I lay there in the dark, and I talked to that part of myself for the first time. I admitted things I had never admitted to anyone. Dreams I had told myself were too big. Needs I had convinced myself were too much. Truths I had buried under years of being practical and responsible and whatever everyone else needed me to be. And something released. Not everything. Not all at once. But something fundamental shifted that night. Like a door that had been locked for years, very quietly, unlocked. I want to ask you something now. What keeps showing up at 3 in the morning for you? Not what you think should bother you. Not what makes logical sense to worry about. What actually shows up? Uninvited. Persistent. Intense. Because it's not random. It never was. Your mind at 3 in the morning is not your enemy. It is the most honest version of you that exists. The version that doesn't perform, doesn't filter, doesn't pretend, and what it's showing you in those dark, quiet hours is the map. The map to what you actually need, what you actually want, what you actually have to face before you can move forward. The question isn't, why does this keep happening to me at 3 in the morning? The question is, what is it trying to show me that I keep refusing to see during the day? Before you go to sleep tonight, I want you to try something. Don't fight the thoughts. Just pick one. The one that comes back the most. The one that carries the most weight. And ask it honestly. What are you trying to tell me? What do I need to hear that I keep choosing not to hear? You don't need to solve it tonight. You just need to finally listen. Because the moment you stop treating your 3 a.m. mind as a problem to fix and start treating it as a voice worth hearing, everything begins to shift. The nights get quieter. Not because the thoughts disappear, but because they've finally been heard. And a thought that's been heard doesn't need to keep screaming. That was my confession for tonight. If this opens something in you, share it with someone who is also awake right now, losing the battle against their own mind. Sometimes the right words reach us through someone else who cared enough to pass them along. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. Every week there is a new confession here. Made for this hour. Made for whoever shows up at midnight still searching for something real. Subscribe, leave a like, share this confession. See you at the next confession.